K-Bear says, no, Mom, you can't have it. He's such a cutie, isn't he? The actual boy. He says, no, Mom, I'm taking it in here. But you just saw there that K-Bear has already been trained that when I come over and pet him, he knows I don't want his bone. But when Ulu comes over, he goes in the doghouse with it. And again, that's part of the reasons why we like to handle the puppies when they're feeding. They learn that early on, and that carries over to when they're older. You know, they no longer view you as a threat or competition for their food. Now you saw Puko growling and barking at Ulu when she comes over for that food, but with me, he's totally fine and he's totally relaxed. See, but Ulu comes over and that's what you see. And again, that's because from the time he's been young, every time they fed, I've handled and pet him and all the other dogs here, and so they learn that the humans aren't competition. And as such, you know, when your kid's coming up to your dog then later on, you know, maybe in a situation that you wouldn't condone, but, you know, they're kids and sometimes they get out of sight and do stuff they're not supposed to do, you'll be able to trust your dog, you know, not to hurt the kid. And again, I say that as somebody who was an animal warden for almost 2 decades. I've seen lots of kids and people hurt in situations that really could have easily been avoided with just a little bit of training. Let's see how long it takes for Ulu to decide to come take one of these. She's being courteous because he's one of her pups. Normally she'd just snatch it. There's no way he'll eat all 3 of these. I like it though that he thinks he's gonna. It's like, no, Mom, they're mine. But again, you see, now I can come in here and you don't see anything. But now you got Ulu there and he's doing that. See? Boy. Good girl. Yeah, I just went in and I took this. And you can see there's no aggression when I take it. There's no growling. Again, that's the whole purpose of doing stuff like that, handling them when they're feeding. And he's going to be a beast. I think Puko stands a good chance of being Kurgan's size. Crow, the puppy that Amy has, looks like he's pretty big too, in some of the photos I've seen on her Instagram. Boy, yes you are. And these forelegs here are not a meal for my dogs. This is not going to be their meal for the day. This is more just a kind of a chew toy for them, a snack. I mean, over the next, over the rest of today, they'll be eaten down to nothing, but they'll get a normal meal today as well. For those who will ask, where are the bulldogs and where's Lobo? They're in the house right now. I just thought I'd shoot a family video with the shepherds today. They will be getting their legs a little later on today. That's why you saw 5 legs. I have 3 others that are saved for those 3 that they'll be getting later. Mr. K-Bar snacking away. Hey, buddy. Get rid of that leaf for you. Again, you can see both these puppies are very okay with me touching their food, no aggression. My adults as well. And that's just because they've been desensitized to it. I have a pretty good series of videos, at least I think they're good, on puppy food aggression. I'll have that linked in the video description down below. And then I'll also probably be updating that soon also. But that video shows my bulldog puppies. They were pretty food aggressive when I first got them from their mom at about 5 weeks old. And they show the whole process of me working with them through that. It took a couple of weeks, and you can see them go through that and get cured. And you can also see some footage of them now as adults totally cured of that. It's pretty easy to do. It just takes some consistency, lots of repetition. Again, a little bit of a close-up on Ulu's new waterproof collar that I picked up for her and Magi. They're pretty nicely made. I got them off of Amazon. They're very nice quality. Let's see here. They're reasonably thick and look like they'll hold up. I tend to like those plastic type collars for my dogs because they swim almost daily and are constantly getting wet, and so nylon collars and leather collars don't hold up as well as these waterproof ones. If you'd like to learn more about how to feed a raw diet to your dogs, I've left plenty of links in the video description below, including links to several vet resources that'll tell you how to do it right. I feed what's called the BARF diet, which is an acronym for biologically appropriate raw foods. It was created by veterinarian Ian Billinghurst, who developed it to help address some of the modern skeletal diseases that are plaguing dogs because of an overly processed, nutritionally incomplete diet. I've been feeding raw for over 20 years. I've seen nothing but great success with the dogs I've fed it to. But as I often say, don't take my word for it. I'm just some guy on YouTube. I've left, again, plenty of resources below from vets so you can do your research. A lot of people online try to put themselves forth as authority figures on topics they shouldn't. I'm not one of those. While I do have a lot of experience with dogs, again, I was an animal warden for almost 2 decades. I've owned, trained, bred, and rescued dogs for about 3 decades. I admit there's many ways to do things, and you're never too old to learn. So again, do your research. After doing that, you can decide if what I've said here has any merit and whether you want to incorporate this with your dogs. I'm just merely showing what I do and explaining why I do it, and providing resources that back that up. K-Bar getting brave, venturing forth while he leaves his leg there. He's standing a chance of losing it. Let's see what happens. He says, Mom's leg looks pretty good. The snow is always whiter on the other side of the fence. Good boy. This is what Bro's got a couple pieces over here. Oh, and he lost it. Mom's gonna go try to. Let's see what happens. So again, this is canine communication. It's not aggression. He's telling his brother, that's my piece. Notice the submissive posture as he comes into his dad. Kurgan's very good with puppies. Piece of hide he got there. Kuko says, I'll eat that piece of hide.